Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. So in today's video we are going to understand how to create Let's Calendar campaign from Google Sheets row. So in a Google Sheet I add the campaign details. My objective is that whenever I am going to add the new campaign details in my Google Sheet in a new row, then I want to create that campaign in Let's Calendar as well. So now to do this, I need to establish a connection between these two applications, for which I am going to use this amazing automation software, that is Pabbly Connect. Pabbly Connect follows the concept of trigger and action. So here to do this, my trigger application will be Google Sheets and my action application will be Let's Calendar. So if you want to learn more about this, follow me through the screen.
In this video, we are going to understand how to create Let's Calendar campaign from Google Sheets row. So here my objective is that whenever in a Google Sheet, I'm going to add the campaign details, then automatically a campaign should be created in my Let's Calendar account. So now to automate this entire process, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect, and as an existing user, I'm going to sign in. But if you're a new user, you can click on the sign up for free button and every month you will get 100 tasks for free. So as an existing user, I'm signing in. Now this here is the all applications page. So here I will go to Pabbly Connect and click on access now to reach my dashboard. So this here is my dashboard, and now in order to create a new workflow, I will go to my right hand side corner and click on this create workflow button. So now in this dialog box appearing, I need to give my workflow a name. So here I've named it as Create Let's Calendar Campaign from Google Sheets row. And on the left hand side, you can see that these are the folders which I've created before. So I want to save this workflow in the folder named as Let's Calendar Automation, because this is the automation for Let's Calendar. And over here, I'm going to click on Create. So as I did that, now I have arrived on a very important window which consists of trigger and action. Basically, trigger and action are the two most important principles or concepts of Pabbly Connect on which this entire automation will depend. Trigger says when this happens, action says do this. Action is an automated response of your trigger application, and in a workflow, you can only have one trigger but multiple action applications. So now moving to my use case, that is to create Let's Calendar campaign from Google Sheets row. So over here in Pabbly Connect, I'm going to select my trigger application. So I will go to my trigger window, and over here, I'm going to search for Google Sheets as my trigger application. Here it is. And the trigger event will be new or updated spreadsheet row. So this trigger will start working whenever a new row will be added or updated. So now moving to my action window, as I want to create a campaign in Let's Calendar. So over here, Let's Calendar will be my action application. And my action event will be to create a campaign. So as you can see that I have selected my action application and the action event along with my trigger application and the trigger event. My objective is to create Let's Calendar campaign from Google Sheets row. So now to automate this entire process, I will go to my trigger window, and firstly I need to establish a connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect. So here you can see that a webhook URL is given, and along with that a help desk is given. So read this help desk given below carefully, because this webhook URL will act as a bridge to connect your Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect. So now I'm going to take you to my Google Sheet. So this here is the Google Sheet that I've created by the name of Let's Calendar Campaign, and it only consists of one sheet and of these columns. So my objective is that whenever in a new row in this Google Sheet, I'm going to add the campaign details, then automatically a campaign should be created in Let's Calendar. So now to do this, firstly I need to establish a connection between this Google Sheet and Pabbly Connect, so that whenever I'm going to add the details in a new row, so those details could be captured in Pabbly Connect. So in order to do that, I will go to extensions and make sure you should have this Pabbly Connect webhooks extensions. So if you don't have it, you can simply go to get add-ons. And here you just have to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. So here it is. So you can see that I have already installed this extension. So it says installed. You also have to follow the same process to install it. So I will go to extensions once again, go to Pabbly Connect webhooks, and now I will go to initial setup. So here in initial setup, it says the webhook URL will be set up on the below selected sheet. So the selected sheet is sheet 1, as the sheet only consists of one sheet. Now moving to webhook URL and the trigger column. So from Pabbly Connect, I'm going to copy this webhook URL, and over here I'm going to paste the same. Now moving to the trigger column. So the trigger column will be your final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row data will be sent to webhook URL. That means it will be sent to Pabbly Connect. So over here, F is my final column. So F is going to be my trigger column. So now once I've mentioned the webhook URL and selected my trigger column, I'm going to click on submit. So here you can see that the setup is configured successfully. So now before moving ahead, I will go to extensions once again, go back to Pabbly Connect webhooks, and over here I'm going to click on send on event. So by clicking on send on event, I will make sure that whenever in this Google Sheet, I'm going to add the new campaign details in a new row. So those details could be sent to Pabbly Connect. So here I'm going to click on send on event. So once that is done, it is an important step to refresh it. So as I've refreshed the page, so over here in this new row, I'm going to add the details of a new workshop which I will be conducting. So these are the details, and over here you can see that here's the title, content, event type, time zone, start date and the end date. So this event type is of a workshop. So over here you can see that in this new row I've added the new campaign details, and these details would have been captured in Pabbly Connect. So taking you to Pabbly Connect, and yes, over here you can see that I have received a response. Here's a trigger column, here's the title, time zone, start date, spreadsheet name, spreadsheet ID, sheet name, sheet ID, row index, and here is the event type, end date, and this here is the content. So that means the new campaign details which I've added in a new row in that Google Sheet is successfully captured over here in Pabbly Connect. So the first objective of this automation is setup. That means now whenever in a new row in that Google Sheet, I'm going to add the new campaign details, then automatically those details will get captured over here in Pabbly Connect. So this trigger will instantly capture the new incoming data and the workflow execution will start in real time. So as I've got the details over here in Pabbly Connect, now by using these details, I'm going to create a campaign in Let's Calendar. So in order to do that, firstly, I need to establish a connection between Let's Calendar and Pabbly Connect. So here I'm going to click on Connect. And now to add a new connection, you have to mention your login ID and the password over here. So as you will mention the login ID and the password, then automatically the connection will be established. So I already have an existing connection. I'm going to use the same, and here I'm going to click on Save. So here you can see that Let's Calendar and Pabbly Connect is connected. So now moving to these fields. So here in these fields, I need to mention the details of title, email body, sender email ID and other details. So to mention these details, I'm going to use a method that is called as mapping. Basically, mapping means to insert the data from previous step. So as I've received the response from Google Sheets, so in these fields, I'm going to map the details from that response. So now moving to the sender email ID over here. So now to get the sender email ID, I will take you to my Let's Calendar account. Over here, I will go to setting. In setting, I will go to sender email. And over here, I will scroll down, and this here is my ID. So I'm going to copy my ID, and here in Pabbly Connect, I'm going to paste the same. So now moving to the event type. So as I've mentioned the event type detail as well in my Google Sheet, so mapping plays an important role. Mapping is important so that every time you're going to receive a new response, so that response could be taken into consideration in these fields. If I would have written this information manually, in that case, this information could have become static, which means that it wouldn't change even if I would have received a new response. So in order to avoid that problem, we map the information. So as you can see that I have mapped the details in these fields. So my objective is that whenever in a new row in a Google Sheet, I'm going to add the new campaign details, then automatically those new details will be taken into consideration in these fields. So if I would have written these details manually, in that case, this information could have become static and the workflow could not have run ahead. So as I've mapped all of the details, so if you want to mention the Zoom type or the Zoom ID or the URL location, you can do that. But as of now, I'm going to leave these fields blank, and here I'm going to click on Save and Send Test Request. And you can see that I have received a response, and this here is a positive response. So here you can see that a data ID is generated, and in message you can see it says campaign created successfully. That means in Let's Calendar, a campaign is successfully created. So I'm going to take you to my Let's Calendar account. So here in Let's Calendar, in the campaign list, you can see that a new campaign is successfully created. Here you can see the campaign name, time zone, start date, end date, and here is the status. So this automation is a successful one. That means now whenever in my Google Sheet in a new row, I'm going to add the campaign details, then automatically in Let's Calendar, a new campaign will be created. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Not just these applications, you can integrate a lot more applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you have any doubts regarding Pabbly, reach us at support@pabbly.com, and if you have any queries, you can visit us at forum.pabbly.com. If you have any pricing related query, you can visit this link. So if you like this video, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and do not forget to like, share and subscribe our channel.